Hey, today I'm going to try something I haven't really done before and do a sketchbook tour video. Yeah, I've not really done this kind of more casual, long-form content ever, but, you know, thought I'd give it a go, get some chill vibes, show you some of my really shit drawings that I do in here, and yeah, just have a good time. Hope you enjoy. Alright, so this is Johnny Book 6. Yeah, so when I first started doing these, I thought it'd be kind of fun to, like, I don't know, give them a silly little title and number system so I kind of know what kind of order I'm doing them in, I don't know. And yeah, so I kind of wrote Johnny Book Volume 6. I did this little Posca pen design on the front. I don't know, just kind of a fun thing to kind of be like, ooh, new sketchbook. Yeah, and obviously that's kind of weathered over time, but, you know, such is the way of life. Yeah, I think I started doing these in like 2020, so it's obviously been like 5 years since I started doing them, only on number 6. It's easy to kind of look at the artist friends around me in my life and see how much art they're doing and kind of be like, oh wow, I've only done 6 sketchbooks in 5 years, but you know, I go through phases when I kind of draw a lot more, phases where I kind of don't draw as much as I want to, and I work on a lot of, you know, video art and stuff that doesn't necessarily require a sketchbook. I think, you know, I had one of these that took me like 2 years to get to the end of. I've had other ones which are only a few months. So it really does vary quite a lot, but, you know, I think it's quite fun to kind of number them and kind of remember the times in my life when I was doing each one. So, yeah, and, yeah, so I see a lot of kind of stuff on the online art sphere, I guess, people talking about like art books rather than sketchbooks, and you know, when people kind of make kind of beautiful pages of sketchbooks in like book format and make them look super beautiful and like all these perfectly laid out drawings with like beautiful like font headers and stuff, and you know, I think that's great and stuff, but for me sketchbooks are more about just like banging out ideas and kind of not necessarily trying too hard to make it look nice or presentable to anyone else. So a lot of stuff that's in here is just going to be like, I don't know, like the shittest doodles I've ever done, but I don't know, like for me it's just kind of about getting something down, and the sketchbook format is just so convenient for me. I can carry it around everywhere, anywhere I want, whenever I want to draw something or note something down, I just whip it out. And yeah, so it's gonna be pretty messy, but yeah, let's just dive right in. So on the front here, I always do this at the start, I do like an if found page. This is obviously blurred out, it's got my personal information on it, but just in case like I lose the book or something and someone else finds it, they can just contact me if they're feeling nice. But yeah, and then I've just got like a little welcome page. I kind of double these books as like a diary, because like, I don't know, I don't really write a diary enough to kind of buy a separate book for it, and I kind of like having everything in one place. So yeah, you can read this if you want. It's just kind of me talking about where I'm at with my art life. This is 12th of June last year. So yeah, just kind of talking about summer, and I got some little doodles around there. Yeah, that's the first page. Then I've got, okay, so here I've got some album cover designs right off the bat from my album You Seem Kinda Quiet Tonight, which came out last October. So just some kind of sketches here about what it might look like. I don't think, yeah, I didn't really end up going with any of these, but I did, you know, I did design another one. I did a lot of it digitally, so it's not all in here. But these were kind of fun. I kind of like the whole spacey vibe. Here I have, for Father's Day last year, I did like a bleach t-shirt thing, and I wrote Vitamin T, because my dad's name is Tim. And that was my Father's Day gift to him. Yeah, and I just got some weird little dudes around here, little doodles. One of my favorite things to doodle is just really like gross, grotesque sort of dudes. That's just kind of what I default to in a lot of my art. I don't know, I just kind of like drawing like really angular body shapes and like twisted hands and shit. Some are better than others. Not fond of that pose, but you know, this guy's kind of fun. Yeah, next up here we got Chillin' in the Sun. I think this was just like a nice sunny day. I was hanging out with my friend Guy, pictured here, and my girlfriend Mia, pictured here and here. And just kind of doodling, writing down whatever. That says Friday 13th, mark your calendars. Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of filling up the space with whatever kind of comes to mind by like the shapes I kind of draw. So yeah, just being really loose with it. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is kind of, you know, not super appealing, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, it always feels good to get something down and get some creative muscles flowing, I guess. So that's what kind of those pages are about. Same thing here. Got Hello, My Beautiful Creatures. That's a film by Joel Haver I watched last year. Very, very good. Yeah, I got kind of this weird T-Rex guy. I think around this sort of time I was defaulting to like really gross mouths. I think you'll see that a lot coming up. But yeah, just kind of like to draw that along with obviously the weird angular dudes. Me, I guess that's a self-portrait, me kind of doing like a pencil in a book. Yeah. And we got, okay, I'm probably gonna blur some of this. Like I said, I use it as a diary sometimes. Don't want to get too like personal information on here. But yeah, just kind of writing about my life, whatever's on my mind. It's yeah, I think it's kind of nice to do sometimes. We got some doodles here. I think this was also something I was thinking about using in the album cover when I was going to have sort of character looking sad in it, because it's a very sad album or whatever. Yeah, moving on here, we're in July now, so obviously I didn't draw a whole lot throughout June in the sketchbook, so we're kind of bouncing around a bit. But we've got Astel from Elden Ring, a pretty weird creature design. I'm a big fan of the Soulsborne games, especially Elden Ring. I kind of like the way I've used the highlighters here to get the different shades. I've kind of mixed them to get that green and that purple. Yeah, kind of an interesting pose. I did like a graffiti font of Astel. That's always fun. More Elden Ring. We've got the Elden Beast here, kind of being held by this weird highlighter grotesque dude. This was kind of around the time, well, not quite actually, but I sort of was figuring out that highlighters are a really fun way for me to color in my art, because I've always kind of struggled with like finding a medium to color in my stuff. And I remember being like super particular about it when I was like first doing these books or whatever. I like wouldn't want to move on to the next sketchbook until I'd gone through every page and like colored everything in just to make it feel like really complete. But yeah, obviously kind of getting past that now, don't really have that obsession anymore. But yeah, kind of discovering highlighters are just a super easy, quick way for me to add color to stuff, because I don't know, back here I was sort of still trying out color pencils. I don't think it really suits my kind of bold angular line stuff that I do. So yeah, big fan of highlighters. I bought this set recently. I got that for my birthday. That was pretty exciting. So yeah, kind of been doing that stuff recently. Here we got kind of gross, like deformed dogs. For one of my uni projects last year, I did like a weird dog costume, and I think around that time I was like, ooh, dogs are fun to draw. Kind of gross dogs just kind of falling over themselves and stuff. I'm a big fan of like trying to just fill the whole page up with whatever shapes I can fit. So like obviously I kind of got a snake to fit in this gap here. Just kind of stuff that weaves into the shape naturally. I think it's quite a fun way to kind of spark your imagination a bit. This is me designing a creature for my ongoing analog horror project, which I work on sometimes. Yeah, if you've seen that on my main channel, I've got like this like beast made of like trees and stuff, going through a few different ideas. Yeah, he's like dwelling in a forest or whatever. I wasn't sure if I wanted to have him be like thicker or more spindly. Yeah, so kind of trying to get some creepy vibes going on. Yeah, we got a few more here. So this guy's got like a super gross like tree trunk inhaling Sarlacc pit type mouth. Yeah, just kind of trying to get like some gross anatomy vibes going on. Not massively my strong suit, but you know, it's fun to experiment with sometimes. Here I've got some more gross dog kind of goat things. This is very similar to the outcome I was talking about with that dog costume project I did. Yeah, and then over here we've got just some more random doodles. This is of my dog, Rosie. Obviously a bit more deformed. This is her lying down on the carpet. Isn't she cute? Yeah, we've got, like, I think this is my grandma's Womble teddy bear. I was staying at my grandma's and I just, yeah, doodled this guy. He's quite fun. Got a little skeleton down here. This is the chair from my album cover. I guess around this time I decided I wanted to go with this chair design for my album cover. Then I've got a drawing of Jar Jar Binks and some bugs. Sometimes I like to go and try and draw bugs. I always see artists do like really cool drawings of bugs and I'm like, damn, I should get on the bug train. And yeah, so that's pretty fun to do sometimes. Yeah, we're at like the end of August now. Here's some more gross dudes. Gremlin Baby Man. Yeah, so just when I'm kind of not thinking about what I'm drawing, this is kind of what I just gravitate towards, I guess. Just drawing like these really gross bulbous heads and like kind of bodies twisting in ways they shouldn't. You know, it's not always the most appealing poses and stuff, but you know, I think when I kind of consider it more, then I can kind of get something more interesting out of it. Like this guy, I think I was kind of thinking about it more when I drew this thing. He's just kind of got a bit of a stronger like shape language, I guess. I like the big mouth. I eat hay. I was staying on Hailing Island at the time when I did this. So yeah, that's kind of thematically where I was at. Yeah, oh yeah, Hailing Island. So here I am. This is a self-portrait of me on the beach, I guess. Yeah, so this is at the end of August. This was when I was thinking about doing my Jar Jar Bink Timber thing that I did. If you saw, yeah, last September I did like Inktober, but Jar Jar Bink Timber. So in September every day I drew a different Jar Jar Binks or Jar Jar Binks adjacent character. So obviously this is the end of August. I was like, oh, I should do that. That'd be really funny. So yeah, I was just drawing a lot of Jar Jar Binks. This one actually did end up being in one of the final drawings. I think this one and this one did as well, actually. So yeah, I was just kind of figuring that out. And yeah, Jar Jar Binks is a super gross design that kind of complements my kind of way of drawing people. So yeah, it was just a fun thing to do. Oh, okay, so yeah, not very exciting page. I think I was just looking at some sounds on GarageBand while I was messing around one day, and I was just noting down some instruments I'd like to kind of use in the future, I guess. Just some ideas. Oh, I did do this. I did Take 5, but it's Merry-Go-Round of Life. I guess I just noted that down. I didn't want to forget it, but that was a cover of Howl's Moving Castle theme Merry-Go-Round of Life that I did on my main channel. Take 5, but it's Cantina Band. Perhaps not as inspired, but you know, might have been fun to do. Another Jar Jar Binks. I guess we're going to see a lot of Jar Jar Binks coming up. This is the 1st of September. But yeah, my method for most of Jar Jar Bink Timber was just drawing them with pen in my sketchbook and then coloring them digitally because you kind of get more control there. But yeah, obviously I like drawing stuff physically because it forces me to not undo every 2 seconds. That's what I like about it. Yeah, so... Oh, okay, here's the, this is a spread I did to fit in, like, the name of my album here. I was gonna, like, animate it, and I did that for, like, a teaser video for my album that I made. So I kind of had that jittering at the front there. And yeah, I just kind of made this to kind of be the backdrop. Here we've got some more Jar Jar Binks. I don't think I used either of these. I might have used that one, I can't remember. But, yeah, I used this guy to kind of be like, oh, I'm gonna reveal my album soon, but I'm also doing Jar Jar Bink Timber. Yeah, so that was fun. Another Jar Jar Binks here. I guess these pages aren't as exciting because it's just one drawing of Jar Jar Binks in the middle because I had to scan it in. These are the kind of things that the Gungans ride in the end of Phantom Menace in that war. Yeah, that was fun to do. Another Jar Jar Binks going, it's cold. Guess it was cold that day. And this is some sketches of a birthday present I made for my sister. I like crocheted a mini version of Mabel's shooting star jumper from Gravity Falls for her childhood teddy to wear. So yeah, this was just kind of me mapping out what the plan was, I guess, before I went in and did it. We got Boss Nass, also from Phantom Menace. Here, yeah, I guess I wasn't a fan of this kind of pose, so I did like a more hunched over one with him holding a tiny Jar Jar Binks up there. It's kind of fun. Here we got R5-D4, classic character, everyone knows that. Yeah, and then I got the Posca Jar Jar Binks next to him. Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of this one. Yeah, I've not really used Posca much before for like, you know, something without line work and just kind of going in straight with Posca, so this was kind of a fun experiment. Yeah, these are kind of two versions of the same thing. I ended up going with this one, but I do like the kind of shape I was able to get here with the neck and stuff. But yeah, this one obviously fits better in like the box. Yeah, and here I was sketching out ideas for the Howl's Moving Castle cover video that I did. So I've got Calcifer there, that dog thing, the scarecrow. And this is a drawing from my friend Guy of Jar Jar Bink. Yeah, and then here's another one, him in like a jar. Over here we got a dismembered Jar Jar Bink like body part thing. And yes, me and Jar Jar sitting on a bench at sunset. That's a beautiful one. You gotta check that out on Planet Jumbo Instagram. Here we have Jabba the Hutt and this little thing. This is one of my favorite drawings, like aside from the coloring that I did that month, I think. I don't know, I like all the lines on Jabba. I feel like it makes him look really textured. Does it distract from the shape a bit potentially, but I don't know, I just think it's kind of cool. Yeah, check it out. This one's based off the concept art of Jar Jar Binks from Phantom Menace. And yeah, again, it's like a Posca thing. I guess I was having fun with that. I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be. Another Jar Jar Bink Temba thing. Yeah, I started kind of getting wackier with it because obviously I didn't want to draw the same thing every day. And then I also did a bleached t-shirt of Jar Jar Binks' head for the end of Jar Jar Bink Temba, just to kind of have something physical to remember it by. Just thought that'd be fun. I was just kind of doing some designs of other stuff I could do. I was doing bleached shirts with my friend Guy. Yeah, and so I guess I was just kind of thinking of what I would want to put on there. Yeah, this is when I went to Weymouth for a couple of days with my girlfriend. I drew me and her there on the train. Yeah, here's another Jar Jar Bink. This is probably one of my favourite ones, actually. Him like lounging at the beach. And then we've got a drawing of Ahmed Best, the actor who played Jar Jar Binks there, kind of parodying the Phantom Menace poster. And then two versions of George Lucas, kind of with a huge quill, like P-Tone Family Guy. Yeah, so kind of creepy Jar Jar Binks peering through. This is obviously the one I went with. This is a lot better. We got Babu Frick building this like robot Jar Jar Binks. I don't know, I was trying to get kind of creative with the prompts by the end because it was kind of, you know, getting a bit hard to draw Jar Jar Bink 28 days in a row. I drew him with this girlfriend character from the Clone Wars or whatever, which I did not know was a thing, but apparently is, so yeah, there's that. Oh yeah, and then for the last day of Jar Jar Bink Temba, I did like, you know, I was like, okay, I've drawn this guy so many days in a row now, what if I just close my eyes and try to draw him from memory? So I ended up with these kind of weird abstract shapes, which I kind of turned into like a pattern thing for the last day. I thought that was a pretty fun way to end it. And yeah, my girlfriend Mia drew this much better Jar Jar Binks than I could ever draw. And yeah, just kind of filling in the page with some doodles, got some bugs going on here, some weird hands, kind of a classic for me. And yeah, just some kind of semi-observational like plant pots, I guess. Okay, so yeah, this is for my uni project, just making some notes on like what to do. We had to like design book pages for like, I don't know, like a book about this album thing called Space Echo. You can look it up, it's pretty interesting. But yeah, just kind of working it out. Oh yeah, these, I wanted to do, at one point with the release of my album, I wanted to do like artworks for each of the songs, because I thought that'd be kind of interesting if I wanted to upload all the songs as videos to YouTube individually. But then I realized I only had like 4 ideas, so yeah, I kind of gave up on that, but you know, it was fun to kind of think about. Oh yeah, before I kind of released my album, I went back, I did like a listening session where after I'd mixed everything, I kind of put it on like a nice speaker, and I went back and I just like made notes about stuff I might want to change. But yeah, I don't think I changed much in the end, but it was kind of good to listen to it as a whole. Yeah, we did like a uni trip to a museum in London, and I was just kind of doodling some of the stuff there, I guess we were supposed to. But yeah, I don't know, I don't think I was really feeling it that day, but I did a couple things from this museum. I did this like spread observational thing. I'm not very good at observational drawing, I don't have much experience with it, but you know, it's fun to kind of challenge myself and do these sometimes, although I do hate when I have to do like repetitive bullshit like these fences repeating all the way down here. That was annoying. Yeah, I also guess I was hungry because I wrote hungry on the side. Yeah, a little bit more from that museum. We got like a scarf, like, I don't know, mannequin thingy there. Something with like tapestry draped over it. A bit more of that observational balcony stuff. Then we got a few more of that car from the previous page. Yeah, just kind of trying to exaggerate the shape of it. I like this one a little more than the others. That's kind of fun. Tried a highlighter one, didn't really work. And then some shitty self-portraits. Kind of less shitty self-portrait. Yeah, this one was kind of fun. I like these pens. These are like sign pens from like Pentel or something. I don't know, they're like super duper thick. And like, yeah, they're just really fun to kind of go in with. These are like thumbnails for a uni project thing. I did like a blender composition of like this gnome on this ukulele. It was to do with the Space Echo brief. But yeah, that was just kind of working that out. As you can see, they're not that different, but you know, it's fun to kind of sketch it out first. Here we have some more funny dogs. I like to draw a funny dog. Yeah, got some kind of gross mouth stuff going on there. Yeah, just kind of fun to fill the space. Got this huge guy going, ah! So that's, yeah, how I was feeling, I guess. Here we have a self-portrait. I think I did post this one on Instagram. This was kind of fun. This is what I like about kind of coloring with highlighters. I don't know, it's fun to kind of use it for shading with like other one. I've obviously like used the lighter pink one to kind of fill in everything, and then done the shading with like a neon pink color. Same with the blue. I don't know, just gives a kind of interesting effect. It kind of, you know, it kind of changes depending on the lighting. That's fun. That's drawing of my girlfriend Mia, kind of in the same style, pretty fun. Some more weird hands, you know, whatever. I guess we had like an InDesign workshop in uni. I kind of made some notes so I'd remember it a little better. And then we got kind of an observational drawing of my windowsill with this like Pikmin crochet thing and this fan and a lamp. Kind of fun to do, kind of interesting colors, I guess. Yeah, then we got some observational drawings of the Spot figurine from Spider-Verse. I don't know, this guy's kind of fun to like have as a fake life drawing model, I guess. He doesn't stand up very well, but I don't know, just kind of the closest like humanoid figure I have available to me. Got a desk mouse. I guess I was just kind of, you know, doodling stuff I saw around me. Then here we've got stickers along with some doodles. I guess more kind of put together stuff. I got like this slug toy thingy, severed limbs, some bugs, the Spot again, and like a carton of orange juice. You know, that artist stuff these days. I thought this was kind of fun to do like a fake barcode. I don't know. Yeah, this was fun. I kind of did like fake Tinder profiles of like, I don't know, like stereotypical man Tinder profiles. That was kind of fun to draw. I used some references for these guys so they, you know, look a little more like real people. And then here we have some more thumbnails for my uni brief at the time. We had to do like a front and back cover for like a book. So yeah, that's what those are. Yeah, it's just some more InDesign notes, I guess. And then here we have some more thumbnails for like inner spreads of the book we had to design. So yeah, those were kind of fun. It's interesting, with uni projects I feel like I always end up using the first idea I have, and I don't know, it's kind of a curse of mine. Like the first or second idea I have, that's the one I go with, and like I can try to kind of crank out more, but like it's just kind of, I don't know, I don't end up being as enthused about it as the first or second ideas I have. Yeah, so here we have, I'm kind of figuring out my theme for this project. I wanted to have like this massive flower growing in like a crater, and it has like keyboards growing out of it and kind of shedding off all the keys. I thought that'd be kind of a fun visual, so I'm kind of figuring out how I can use color and shape and stuff to kind of convey that. That's pretty fun. Oh, here we go. Here's here's some storyboards I did for my mini song Winter Blue that I did. Yeah, I think it's just kind of fun to make these to kind of plan out the shots before I go and film it. I think I ended up changing some stuff a little bit, but yeah, this is fun to do. And here's some kind of more refined roughs of what I thought my double page spreads and the book cover would look like for this uni brief. Here we have some more stuff on that, kind of settling on the color palette of like these really vibrant blues and reds and maybe like a darker purple tone to kind of fill in the values. Yeah, just some more thumbnails. I think I was kind of stuck. We had to make 2 double page spreads and a front and back book cover. So I think I was kind of stuck with the last double page spread. I didn't really know what to do, so I'm kind of trying to work that out. Yeah, then I kind of decided I don't like having these ships like crash through mountains. I'll put the finished products up on the screen, but I ended up using like Blender to kind of integrate 3D elements into like a 2D kind of background thing. I thought that was kind of fun. And yeah, I guess here we have some doodles I was doing during a lecture. Then I kind of went back in with a yellow highlighter to make it pop a bit more. Yeah, kind of fun. I'm a fan of this like weird girl and this guy on the skateboard. That's pretty nice, that's pretty nice. Yeah, this is a page my friend Guy did. Just kind of drawing himself being sleepy, I guess. And then some doodles I did when I went home for Christmas break, I think. Just kind of drawing stuff in my living room, some shoes. I got the Djungelskog from IKEA, that's always fun. And yeah, Christmas tree, it was Christmas time. And then here's a double page spread of some weird dogs. For my next uni project, I ended up pretty much exclusively drawing funky dogs. So this was kind of a head start on that. I was kind of trying to do some stuff with like more lines than I usually do. I don't know, the results are kind of mixed. I like this head. I like this guy, how he doesn't really have defined edges and stuff. But yeah, most of these I'm not massively keen on, but you know, good practice. Some more weird doodles with like different colors. I've got, you know, some kind of grotesque men here. That's always a classic for me to draw. And then here I've kind of tried to shade it with highlighters. I thought that was fun. Got this kind of more elegant poodle doggy and this big hammer, some socks. Yeah, and here I guess we just have some kind of observation-y mixed stuff with like imagination stuff. I got a mug, nothing super exciting, but yeah, weird dog, weird cat, like a wizard guy. I was watching this illustrator like YouTuber guy who was saying whenever he's stuck for what to draw, he'll just draw a wizard, and I was like, oh, maybe I should try that. I don't know if wizard is my thing, but yeah, I don't know, it was kind of fun to draw like the droopy hat and the staff and stuff. Thought that was interesting. Ooh, I like this page. This is a nice spread. See, this is like art book stuff almost. Yeah, this is just kind of, I don't know, I like drawing like dismembered dudes. I don't know. It's just kind of fun to draw like bones sticking out. It's really gross when I think about it, but I don't know. It's just kind of like, I don't know, like I draw these kind of shapes, then I'm like, okay, what am I doing? I don't want to draw the legs in now, so I guess he'll just have his legs cut off, and then he's just got like blood spurting out. I don't know, but yeah, big fan of the colors I used here. Yellow, green, pink, classic. Okay, here we have storyboards for another song I made, my laundry song. So I'm kind of working out the shots I wanted for that one. I think this one is pretty faithful to what I ended up actually filming. So yeah, that's good. Okay, and here we have some notes for my next uni brief, which is like a narrative brief. So I ended up making a comic, basically. And yeah, like I said, it's all about dogs, so I ended up drawing a lot of funky dogs in this project. Yeah, just some kind of notes about what I want to do. Dog climbing through a window, that's kind of fun. How much is that doggy in the window? Then we got kind of experimenting with panels. Oh, motorbike went by. Kind of experimenting with panels because I kind of ended up making a comic. Obviously, I sort of wanted to work out how I would do sequences. So we've got like a dog crawling across several panels. That's kind of fun. This is where I drew this guy. This guy ended up becoming basically the final design for the dog I used. But yeah, I was just using these like sign pen things, and I was like, oh, I could use one to be like a super simple tonal differentiation for the background legs. Yeah, he's called Grog, I guess. And then, yeah, here I did just a double page of like just drawing like loads of these dudes with the different pens I have, and being like, wow, this is fun. I like the way these guys bend and stuff. I think this could be interesting to explore for a project, and then I did. So yeah, that's where this started. Next up here, I'm kind of trying to figure out what kind of story I want to tell in my comic book, I guess. So sort of looking at like their relationship between dogs and their owners. I got like this dog pooping and peeing, like this guy. Yeah, I was sort of trying to figure out what kind of techniques I could use to make the final images. I like these pens, but I'm not sure how well this kind of coloring meshes with like highlighter stuff, so I'm kind of trying to experiment with that. I like this guy's airplane ears, very fun. Next page, some more highlighter experiments. I like these trees, I'm a fan of these, and yeah, I was sort of thinking like maybe I could have the dog morph into different animals depending on like him and the owner's moods or like scenarios, I don't know. Didn't end up going with that, but I like this bird. This is a lot of fun. Cats are fun to draw, of course. Gotta have that. Yeah, okay. I'll blur this out. Like I said, I use it as a diary sometimes, so obviously there's lots of personal stuff in there. And then, yeah, here we got some more notes for the uni project. Got my doggy. Is a reflection of how owner feels, you know, working out what the storyline's going to be. Yeah, some kind of more sequences here. Maybe the dog's like waiting for his owner to come home, that kind of thing. And yeah, here I started just kind of going for it and trying to just kind of come up with sequences by just kind of starting them without knowing how they're going to end. So this one I just kind of started with them in the bath, and then it goes down here, and then obviously it ends up in the park. It didn't really make any sense, but I thought it was kind of just a fun way to kind of get ideas out and just be like, okay, I'm just gonna like, no stakes, I'm just gonna try and draw shit and see where it goes. We got the same thing here. I kind of like this one, but it kind of doesn't make any sense. So he's like looking in this pizza box, he's like, oh, I want some pizza. But then he opens it, there's no pizza in there, so he's like, oh, wait a minute, I'll just climb out of the panel and go around to the panel where I was thinking about the pizza and eat the pizza from there. Doesn't make any sense, but I thought it was kind of a fun way to kind of break the panels. And yeah, I ended up kind of doing that a little more here. So I've got this is actually an idea I ended up using in my final comic, if you've seen that on my Instagram. But yeah, we've got like the man and the dog. They see, oh, the man sees a lady he wants to talk to, the dog sees a poodle dog, leaning into the stereotypes here. They try to run to the respective ones, and then they fall out of the panel and end up on the page. So yeah. And then, yeah, this one not as successful. You know, they're not all winners. Dog kind of goes shopping and he buys like some stuff to make soup for his owner who's sick, kind of a sweeter one. And this is kind of some notes on my essay I had to write this term. Very not exciting. I ended up writing it about like video games, so that was a bit more exciting. And yeah, this is kind of working on a T-shirt design for Storyworks, which is this like charity I volunteer at sometimes, which is like doing illustrations for stories that kids write. So yeah, and then here we've got some more weird dudes. You know, I haven't drawn weird dudes in a while, better get back to it. Weird dogs to complement that. Yeah, big fan of this dude with the hat. Okay, so this is a song I wrote, which I might end up performing kind of soon, and then I guess you'll see me singing these lyrics at some point. But yeah, I thought I'd try like writing out lyrics physically, because I usually just write them on my phone. in the end, didn't really like it. Meant I couldn't undo as much. But you know, it was a fun experiment. Yeah. And then here we have some more storyboards for a video I filmed yesterday as of recording this, actually. Another short song music video thing, which I'll probably edit soon and get that up. But yeah, excited for this one. That's going to be very cool. Here we have some observational drawing, just stuff out my window, some cars I saw, some bins, some roofs. Yeah, some glasses on my windowsill, I guess, some people walking. Always fun to kind of, I don't know, get some practice with that kind of thing. And yeah, here I'm kind of going more surreal with stuff I've seen on my window. This is my lamp, just kind of put that at several points throughout a kind of made up environment of houses that I can see out my window. And yeah, I thought it was kind of fun to do something like this. I don't usually do like super liney stuff like this, I guess, but you know, kind of fun. Yeah, here I was on the train and I was kind of just writing like this weird poem thing, I guess. You can read it if you want. Just about some pretty scenery I passed. And yeah, self-portrait there. This is a shitty drawing of some guy I saw on the train. It's whatever. Yeah, we had this project in uni where we had to design like a risograph print. So it was called Riso Week. And yeah, just kind of making some notes about what I have to do there. Designing like a Riso print badge type thing with 2 colors. Yeah, these didn't end up getting printed, but you know. Here we got some more Doggy story practice stuff. Drawing of a robot. Yeah, drawing of my girlfriend and me. Pretty fun. Yeah, some more Doggy stuff. Here I'm kind of trying to work out what I want the color palette to be and how I want to approach the kind of rendering of the images I end up making. So yeah, I ended up sticking with this kind of purple and yellow thing. I think that's quite, you know, obviously complementary colors is quite effective. But yeah, I think that works quite well with the pink kind of tones of the man and the dog as well. So yeah, kind of using that here for the park panel of when they fall out the side. And then I had this other like page design of the dog kind of weaving throughout these panels in a work environment. So he's going to work with the man, and that's kind of a different palette. That's blue instead of yellow. Kind of, you know, cool warm color contrast and that. Same thing here, and then some notes from a critique I had at uni about what I should change about my story and improve upon and stuff. Here I'm kind of using fewer lines as the previous pages, not fully outlining the characters, which is something I ended up doing in the final ones, which I think was quite effective, and yeah, I like this. Next up we got, yeah, just some kind of, I do this a lot, I just kind of grab my highlighters and try to work out which ones I can use to get the different color palettes, just in like these super shitty like blobs and stuff. Here I'm kind of working out a palette for like when they're at work. Got this cat guy, some observational drawings of some people, I guess. Not very good, but you know, it's good to kind of flex that muscle once in a while. Then like a kind of practice sequence I made of me and my friends playing some music, and then me having like a whiplash moment and throwing a chair at my friend Tom, the drummer. So that's fun, I guess. Here we got some illustration I did for the Storyworks charity I mentioned earlier. So like, yeah, designing like a children's book type page for this story these kids wrote. And yeah, some kind of highlighted tone stuff, I guess, to kind of make a face with kind of more distinct shapes or whatever. Some more kind of highlighter stuff. I think this was just after I'd kind of handed in my dog comic, so I was kind of like, okay, saying bye to these characters, not going to draw them anymore. So yeah, I quite like this guy. He's got some fun kind of contrast. And then I've drawn some kind of spindly, kind of slouchy dudes. I guess that's how I was feeling that day. Hair feeling long. And yeah, then I've just got some little self-portraits here. I guess I did my iPad camera super duper quickly. And yeah, that's the end. So I always, you know, I said I start the book with like a little diary entry type thing. I also end it with one just to kind of talk about how my life has changed over the course of doing a sketchbook. It's a little bit of fun. I'll probably blur that one out too. I'll read it again, but yeah, so yeah, I've drawn me kind of in a little tent here at the bottom. Thought that was kind of cute. But yeah, that's my sketchbook. Yeah, obviously very rough, like I said, but yeah, I just think with sketchbooks, the way art is taught in schools kind of, I don't know, for me it kind of poisoned my perception of what sketchbooks were meant to be. And you know, you're in school, you're around your friends, and you look over at like your friends who are just crazy, and they have like these like museum quality sketchbook pages with like, you know, beautiful titles, their process pictures all laid out in order, and like these like segmented boxes of text explaining what their thought process was. And like, that's, I don't know, like, that's the way we're kind of taught to approach sketchbooks in school, because they're kind of given to examiners and they're supposed to kind of explain our process. But I think it's been really freeing for me to kind of let go of that and just be like, yeah, I can just have a sketchbook with no stakes, where I just kind of, you know, go in, draw whatever I want. It doesn't have to look good, but you know, it's practice, and yeah, it's fun to do. Yeah, so yeah, I'm on to the next Johnny book at the moment. I've got a white one this time. I've kind of drawn Johnny Book 7 on the front. Johnny Book Volume 7, you know, fun to do. Yeah, so we'll see where that goes, and maybe I'll do another one of these if it ends up good. But yeah, if you guys are interested in like seeing more of this long form stuff, let me know. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do a sketchbook tour for my next one in a year's time. But yeah, I think this one was about probably like 8 months worth of my life. So yeah, I don't like do this super regularly, I guess. I should probably do it more, but you know, it is what it is. It's fun to have. And yeah, it's good to have sketchbooks because they're so like finite. You know, you reach the end of it and then you have this like product, which is just like, okay, this is whatever, June to March of my life, and it's just like, yeah, just this concrete thing, and you can kind of divide it into volumes that way and kind of see your progress in a more, I don't know, segmented state. So I think that's fun. Maybe I'll do like videos where I go back to some of my earlier sketchbooks and look at some of those. That could be fun. But yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you liked it, and yeah, have a good day.